Yes, here we are adding some new features to C programming language, and that is nothing but an object-oriented concept. That is OOPS concept. Okay. First, we'll see the basic definition of C++ programming language. C++ programming language is a general purpose means it is used to from a low, it is used for learning or at basic level to create operating system. Okay, or it is as well, it is also, it is between lower level language to higher level language, so it is used for general purposes. Okay, you can you can create your large applications using C++ also, and you can use it for basic programming. Yes, thus it is general purpose. It is compiler based. Second point is compiler based. Yes, you execute your C++ code on compiler. You might be aware of GDB C++ compiler that we're going to use today. And third point, it is object oriented. Okay, just a minute. Third thing is object oriented. While my C programming language is function oriented. Why it is called function oriented? Can anyone answer? Why it is called function oriented and C++ is object oriented, but C is function oriented? Because in C, my whole program, entire program is divided into functions. Yes, different function. You know, main function, you write int main. Yes, it is function oriented. You might have learned how to create user defined function. That is, if I want to write a function to add two numbers, that is add. Yes, you will take two arguments here and you will return, yes, x plus y, whatever. Here, so my entire C program is divided into several functions. While in C++, my program will be divided into objects. We'll come to that later, what is object and what is object oriented. For time being, you should know that you are able to differentiate what is C and C++ programming. What is actually a difference? So this is the new thing in the C++ programming language. Rest all things are same. This is a new feature we are introducing in C++, and this increment operator is meant for that. Okay, so let's start with the basic syntax of C++ programming language. Yes, in C language, what function we use to print output on screen? In C language, what function we use? Printf. Yes, someone is answering. Get.ch. Yes, get.ch is also used. Get.ch is, what is the difference between printf and get.ch? Can anyone tell me? Why, when we use get.ch and when we use printf? Okay. Okay. No one is knowing. Okay. First we'll see the ID. All of you, just I'm putting the link for compiler in the chat box for online C++ compiler. First of all, you open that compiler in your system. Then we'll start. Okay. So this is the link for online GDB compiler. Click on that link. It will open a new web page in your system. Okay. So this is how it will look. It's a C++ compiler. What is compiler? What is compiler? See, while we are doing programming, let me tell you the basic thing. We do code because we can't directly communicate with computer in any of the language with which we speak with others, like Hindi, English. Computer don't understand our language. So we speak with computer using some programming language. But the problem is my machine, my computer only understand binary or machine language. Okay, computer ko कान नहीं होता, so I can't directly do communication. Yes, computer के पास कान भी नहीं है, मुंह भी नहीं है, so मैं बात नहीं कर सकता computer से. So जो गूंगा बहरा होता है उसे हमें लिख के देना पड़ता है, right? So we write our program in some programming language that we have C, C++, and later you will study different programming language, Python, Java, etc. Okay, so we write program in some programming language. What is program? Program is just nothing but a set of instruction. Yes. Okay, so we write program and we give it to the compiler. See, if you have friend from USA, okay, but हमें English आती नहीं है. Or let's say you have friend from China, हमें Chinese language नहीं आता है. So how we will going to communicate with that person? We'll need a translator between me and my friend. Okay, me and my Chinese friend. तो वो क्या बोलेगा वो मुझे समझना चाहिए और मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ वो उसे समझना चाहिए. And to fill the gap between this communication, we need a translator. And here, same, we have a translator called compiler between me and my computer. I will give my task to the computer. What is coding? Coding is nothing but giving task to the computer. And what it is used for? It is used to automate the things. Why we do coding? To automate the things. That's it. Okay, so I will give my task to the computer using by writing some basic programs. Okay, and then give it to the compiler. मैं set of instruction, that is program लिख के देता हूँ compiler को, and compiler give it to the computer. Computer will compiler converts into binary language or machine language and give it to the computer. Yes, and computer जो भी output देता है वो मुझे compiler yes higher level language में present करता है. So this is the form आपने C programming में पढ़ा था. We use printf function to print something on screen. Yes. Similarly, in C++ language, we have C out function to print something on screen. If I will run this code, it will print hello world. Okay. This is a task given by me to my computer to print this hello world on the screen. Now, if I want to take input from user, I will use cin, but input कहीं पे तो store करना पड़ेगा. Yes, we have brain, that's why we remember the things. We have brain, इसलिए हमें याद रहता है. But computer के पास brain नहीं है. Yes, computer के पास brain नहीं है, but क्या है? Memory, in which computer can store and access the data. So memory के अंदर मेमोरी, कंप्यूटर का मेमोरी एक कंटिन्यूअस ऐसे समझो कि डिब्बा है, कंटिन्यूअस डिब्बा है, और डिब्बे के अंदर हम लोग डेटा स्टोर करते हैं. यू ऑल नो व्हाट आर डिफरेंट डेटा टाइप्स. कैन यू टेल मी व्हाट आर डिफरेंट डेटा टाइप्स यू हैव लर्नड इन सी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज? Anyone? What are different data types you have learned in C programming language? Or what are different data types you know? Built-in derived integer. Yes, integer is right. Derived, yes. There are different, yeah. Okay, built-in is also there. Derived is also there. But it's a general. I want floating. Floating is correct. Okay. String. Yes, you have learned this. Different types of data. Okay. If जिसे नहीं पता है, for those people, void. Yes, void. Yes, string. Very good. Very good. Yes, we have different types of data types. Like if I want to store an integer number, I will use integer data type. Yes, int. It is represented by keyword int. If I want to take input as an integer number from user, I will use integer int keyword for integer data types. Like let's say I want to take input the age of person. So I will declare. This is called declaration of variable. This is called variable. What is variable? Variable is nothing but name given to the memory. मैंने जैसे बोला कि okay, let me show you with the diagram. Now here, what is variable? मैंने बोला कि memory is name. Memory is a continuous block of array. Okay, मैंने बोला बहुत सारा डिब्बा है, continuous. Yes, ऐसे डिब्बा है, in which we will going to store our data. So if when I write int age, what it actually means is I have declared a variable age of type int. Yes, एक reserve हो जाता है डिब्बा. I am reserving a box inside my memory for this variable to store age of a person. Yes, and this is called assignment. जब मैं वैल्यू डालता हूं डिब्बे के अंदर, this is called assignment. This is declaration. This is assignment. Okay, so now I will take input from user. I will take input from user and store it in the memory. यहाँ ये डिब्बे एज के लिए जो मैंने रिजर्व किया है डिब्बा, उसके अंदर मैं स्टोर करूंगा. What are all different types of data? See, float. किसी ने बोला होगा float. Float में क्या वैल्यूज, कौन से टाइप के वैल्यू स्टोर करते हैं? Yes, float में decimal numbers like 5.3, yes, 1.2. All decimal numbers are stored using float variables. Okay, and character data type is used for data of type alphabets. Okay, a, small a, whatever, different, but we can store only one alphabet in char variables. Okay, then someone was saying string is used to store strings, name, let's name of a person. This is my name, Urvesh. Okay, I can store Urvesh in variable of type string. So variable is just nothing but a name given to the memory box. Okay, to store my data, to access that location. Okay, अभी clear picture आएगा आप लोग को. So I am writing here int age. It means I am reserving a dibba in my memory to store data of type int. Here I will going to store my age. Okay, let's say I am telling a user that enter your age, and I'm taking an input from user using cin function. Let's say what happens. Enter your age. Yes, it's taking input. Okay. See, suppose I want to print this input taken by me on the screen. Suppose I want to print this age. So how will I going to print? Using cout function. मैंने जैसे बोला था, if I want to print anything on the screen, if I want to give the output, I want to get the output. For output, I use cout function. Yes, and to take input, I use cin function in C++ language. Okay, cout के लिए, see, now I want to print whatever input I have taken. I want to print that. So I will write cout age. Now, what happened? Yes, I'm missing something. Okay. Now what's the problem? It's missing. Yes, I'm asking a user to give me input, enter your age, and I'm taking input from the user. Yes, I'm giving my ages 22. It is printing here. See, मैंने variable age में मेरा data store किया था, that is 22, and I am printing using cout function. So cout function is used to give output to the user. Okay, cout function is used to print output on the screen, and cin function is used to take input from the user. इतना समझा सबको? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes? Yes, yes. Okay. Suppose I want to take and store height of a person. What data type I will going to use? Suppose I want to store height of a person. What data type I will going to use? Float. Yes. Float. I am going to use float. So I will declare a variable using float keyword. Yes. Now I'm taking height of a user. enter your height. Let's say yes, it is taking decimal value. If I want to take grade of a person, what data type I'm going to use?
Double.
Yes, char. Yes, char. Okay. If I want to take name of a person, what data type I'm going to use?
String.
Yeah, I'm going to use string key. Okay. सबको scene and see out function का use समझा? Everyone. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I want one of you to present his screen, take input from the user, his name, age, height, and roll number. Take input and print on the screen. I want to make sure that all of you are able to use C++ compiler. Then we'll go for the go with the next topic. Yes, one more thing. This is comment. ये print हो रहा है कहीं पे? नहीं, right? Comment in C++. कुछ comment लिखना है तो backward slash, 2 backward slash. I use 2 backward slash, and if multi-line comments है तो what I will use?
Slash star star slash.
Yes, ये देखो ऊपर किया है. Multiple line comment के लिए slash star के बीच में I write. Okay, like this. If I want to write multiple. Okay, if I want to print my output on new lines, what I will going to use?
Backslash n.
Yes. In that was in C, but और कुछ नया in C++? हाँ, वो slash n हम C में use कर रहे थे, double quotes के अंदर, and L. Yes, very good. I will use and L. So suppose I want to take input from the user as okay. Height था, and let's say cutting age also. Yes, now I'm printing. Age also. अच्छा, ये सिर्फ वेरिएबल प्रिंट किया. Suppose I want to print a string along with variable. How are you going to write that? See out का syntax?
इन्वर्टेड कॉमा में लिखने का.
Yes. While in C programming language, क्या यूज कर रहे थे? Format specifier यूज कर रहे थे. Yes, I will come to that point, Vraj. What is the difference between int main and void main? It's a return type of function. Okay, we'll come to a function topic soon. There you will come to know what is the difference between int main and void main. Okay, here what I'm doing is I'm printing height. is height, and here I'm printing age. So if I want to print a text and a variable on the same line, I use this two left shift operator. This is left shift operator. Okay. What happened? Okay, here. यहाँ पे भूल गए. Okay, let me take the ages. My age is 22 and my height is, let's say, 5.6. Okay, but see, it's printing on the same line. Yes, it is printing on the same line. If I want this output on new line, what I'm going to use? I can use, as someone wrote in the chat box, I can use /n. If I use /n, the next output will be on new line. Let's try now. Okay. Height is 5.6. Okay, now it is print. Where did we use /n? Yes, this is a problem with /n. See, if you use /n here, it will print up to this much and it will take new line. Means ये height variable है, it will get printed on the new line. समझा सबको? That's why here we have in C++ we have AND. Last में C out के last में I will use AND. AND is a keyword. Okay, so we could able to print my output on new line. Let's see now. 5.6. Yes, it is printing height and age on new line. In C++, we use AND. In C programming language, we were using /n. समझा सबको?
Yes.
What is the use of C out function? Why we are using C in function to print, okay, output on new line? What I am using AND. If I want to print variable and text on the same line, how I am doing it? See, text, then left shift, again a variable, and last में AND. AND का मीनिंग क्या समझता है? शॉर्ट फॉर्म है एंड लाइन, एंड ऑफ लाइन. ओके, ऐसे याद रखो. What does return 0 do? It's a return type. Okay, we'll come to function later. Function में आएंगे ना तब समझेगा आपको. Return 0 क्या होता है, int क्या होता है, int main लिखते हैं. Yes, int main is somewhat related to this return 0. ये सब related है, इसे function बोलते हैं. ये main function है, इसका return type integer है. That's why it is returning 0. We'll come to that very soon. First of all, let me okay, सबको variable समझा? What is variable?
Yes.
Variable is just a name given to a data. Okay, or let's say container for storing data values. Okay. AND is used to print on new line. This is multi-line command. See, this is why I write multi-line command. इतना part comment है. See. Okay. Age is a variable of type int. Now, you know the difference between initialization, declaration, and assignment. What is the difference between initialization, declaration, and assignment? Let's understand here. Clear this. Okay. Okay. If when I write int x, यहाँ पे x is a variable of type integer, उसके लिए एक डिब्बा रिजर्व हुआ, जस्ट मैंने डिब्बा बनाया एंड उसको नाम दिया. दिस इज कॉल्ड डिक्लेरेशन. दिस इज कॉल्ड डिक्लेरेशन. डिक्लेरेशन मीन्स डिब्बा बनाया और उसे नेम दिया. एक डिब्बे मेमोरी में बहुत सारे डिब्बा है, कंटिन्यूअस डिब्बा है. यस, मेमोरी इज कंटिन्यूअस एरे. तो डिब्बा बनाया, उसको नाम दिया. दिस इज डिक्लेरेशन. Now you can store any data of type integer. Yes, you can store integer data here in this dibba. What is the size of integer variable? Can anyone tell me? What is the size of integer variable? Size of integer variable is 2 byte. Okay. Size of integer variable is 2 bytes. It depends on compiler to compiler. Somewhere in some compilers it is 4 byte. Okay. But it will be out of 2 and 4 only. Size of character variable is 1 byte. To store character variable, you need 1 byte of space in your memory. Size of float variable is 4 byte. ये नोट कर लो. Yes. Okay. Now here I am declaring this x variable. X is a variable of type int. X के लिए डिब्बा बन गया, x के लिए डिब्बा बन गया in memory, and now I can store integer data in this डिब्बा. When I do create डिब्बा and साथ ही साथ में मैं उसमें डेटा भी डाल देता हूं. Let's say 5. 5 is an integer number. I can store in this डिब्बा. ओके, तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, मैंने डिब्बा भी बनाया एंड उसको नेम भी दे दिया एंड वैल्यू भी स्टोर कर दिया. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड इनिशियलाइजेशन. दिस इज कॉल्ड एंड थर्ड इज असाइनमेंट. असाइनमेंट मीन्स जो ऑलरेडी बना हुआ डिब्बा है उसके अंदर डेटा वैल्यू स्टोर करना. ओके, सो यहाँ पे x का डिब्बा ऑलरेडी बना हुआ है. इफ आई स्टोर वैल्यू इन x, yes, if I store value in x, this is called assignment. Understood the difference between initialization, declaration, and assignment? Initialization means,
Yes, sir.
yes, you are creating a variable and you are storing a value on the same line. Yes, we are doing the two things on the same line. We are creating a variable as well as we are putting a value in, initial value in the variable. This is declaration. just you are declaring, you are creating a variable of x of type integer. Yes, you are just, तुम just डिब्बा बना रहे हो. एंड असाइनमेंट में प्रीवियसली क्रिएटेड डिब्बा है, उसके अंदर हम लोग वैल्यू स्टोर कर रहे हैं. दिस इज असाइनमेंट. नोट दिस डाउन, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Difference between these three. And this here, this is size of, if when you store integer variable in the memory, उसका size होता है 2 byte. Okay, it depends on compiler to compiler. कोई कोई compiler में 4 byte दिखाता है, in some compiler it is 2 byte, but for character it is fixed, it is 1 byte. Float it is fixed, 4 bytes. समझा सबको?
Yes.
कोई लिख रहा है? Done. Okay. What are the restrictions with writing variable name? There are some restrictions. There are some rules. You should follow the rule while taking the variable name. While variable name is also called as identifier. So don't confuse between variable and identifier. It's the same thing. Okay. What are the restrictions on writing variable name? Here, I can see variable name में मैं capital upper case alphabet से start नहीं कर सकता. First rule, I can't start variable name with uppercase alphabet. Okay. Second rule, नंबर से स्टार्ट नहीं होना चाहिए. वेरिएबल नेम में स्टार्टिंग में नंबर नहीं होना चाहिए. एंड थर्ड रूल इज देयर शुड नॉट बी, मतलब स्पेस नहीं होना चाहिए कोई. अच्छा, ये अंडरस्कोर हो गया. there is no space between this variable name. ऐसे स्पेस नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, so we need to follow these 3 rules first. Yes, you can write underscore here. If underscore लिखता है वो चलेगा variable name, but you can't write space in the variable name. Okay, so these are 3 restrictions with while writing variable. You should know this. Okay, input पढ़ा, data types पढ़ा. Then now we'll going for, अच्छा, boolean data type सबको पता है? While using string and boolean. Okay, string and boolean करते हैं अभी. If I want to take input as a name of person, so what I will going to use? If I want to store name of person, I will going to use string. Yeah. And but while before using string, you need to write this: include string. This is header file which you are including to use string. String. Let's say variable का name दे दिया. Yes. Now you are asking the user to print enter your name. I'm taking string as input and save. Yes, it's taking. So here we use string. So string type is used to store sequence of character, that is text. कुछ text input लेना है user से. There we use string. While in C programming language, if तुमने किया होगा, there we were declaring the array of characters. Done? Okay.
Yes,
String
sir.
समझा सबको? Okay. Now, you all know basic arithmetic operators. Yes. If I want to print the sum of two numbers, how am I going to print that?
Addition sign.
Addition. Yes. If I want to take input from user, two numbers as input from user, and print it, how am I going to work for that? Here. यहाँ पे देखो. And int x, this is I am declaring multiple variable on same line. Yes, I am not writing on different line. Okay. So I want to take two numbers. Enter your first number. Whatever. I will take input. ये कहाँ पे स्टोर होना चाहिए? X में. And second number input लेते हैं. जो होगा स्टोर Y में. ये इनपुट ले लेते हैं पहले. Yes, two number मैंने input लिया. Now I want to print sum of this two number. How are you going to print that? Using cout function only. Yes. Yes. Sum is x plus y. This is how it works. Is 25. It is printing sum. So similarly, there are different arithmetic operations. One of them is sum, addition, that is minus, yes, multiplication and division. Okay, you can print these things. Okay, I hope you understand the basic arithmetic operators.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then there is a relational operator. But before going to relational operator, let me tell you the decision-making statements. What are different decision-making statements you know in C? C में if किया होगा और पता होगा. What are different decision-making statements?
While, do.
There are iterative statements. Using those statements, you use iterative task. While, do, while, those are loops. Loops are used to perform iterative tasks. Before that, we are going to learn decision-making statement. If else, yes. Switch case pada hai sir.
Yes.
So we can also
Yes.
declare variable sum and do. Yes, we can do all. Yes, we can do that. Vraj is asking that can we store the sum of two numbers in some new variable and print it? Yes, of course we can do. ये मैंने शॉर्टकट बताया. x plus y डायरेक्टली प्रिंट होता है. ओके. यस, इफ एल्स कंडीशन. तो एक बेसिक एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं पहले. लेट्स से यस, यू आर टेकिंग पर्सन का एज एज इनपुट. सी आउट, एंटर योर एज. इनपुट ले रहा हूं, इनपुट ले रहा हूं इन एज. Now I will check using this if statement. If age of person is less than 18, if age of person is less than 18, so you will print kid, बच्चा है, 18 साल से नीचे होता है. If else if, वरना if age is less than 18, we will print kid. If else if age is okay, age is greater than 18, ये समझा? Age is
Yes.
greater than 18 or less than 30, let's say. We will print you are young. Yes, we will print you are young. And if your age is greater than 30, we will print you are an adult. Or elder, let's say, whatever. What happened? There is a mistake here. Achha, we gave variable name as number, and here we are writing age. See out. What's the problem in see out? Achha, this is count. Okay, let me take the age as 12. So it should print kid. If I give input to the user as greater than 18, let's say 20. So it will print you are young. And if you give age greater than 30, let's say 35, it will print young. So these are decision making statement. Based on some condition, you are making a decision. Yes. If user ne input their age is less than 18, so you are telling him that you are a kid. Okay. I want you guys to write the same logical code to check the maximum among three numbers. You will take three numbers as input from user and print the maximum out of three. जो भी बड़ा होगा, that number you should print. That's the question. If else में किसको डाउट है? Anyone? If else में किसी को डाउट है? Yes, I'm waiting for you. If you're done, message me. So here we are using relational operator. That is, I am checking the relation between two things. Okay, if I say I want to compare two numbers, so there also I will going to use relational operator. Okay, if you are done, okay, cut करो. लिख रहा है कोई? Done? Okay. See, now, as I said, if I want to compare two numbers, how I will work for that? Yeah. I will take two numbers from user as input. Number one, let's say variable name. Yes, variable name में I can use number, but starting में नहीं होना चाहिए. Restriction पता है ना variable name का? I can't use variable name as uppercase, starting with uppercase. Yes, starting with number. Yes, and that should not the space नहीं होना चाहिए. That shouldn't space any space between variable name. Yeah, this. I can't write this as a variable name. Okay, so there are two numbers. I'm taking these two numbers from input, from user as input. Okay, enter your two numbers. Okay, if I want to take two numbers using same CIN function, so I will write here number one, number two, or we can take on different line also if the confusion niche. So enter your first number and then we'll ask for second number using Cout then CIN. Second number. I'm taking two numbers from user as input. Now using if के अंदर क्या आता है? Condition. Here I am writing condition using relational operator. So I will compare two numbers. My task is to compare two numbers. Compare करने के लिए I use this relational operator. Equal to. Okay. If two numbers are equal, तो what should I print? Now मैंने user को बोलना पड़ेगा ना. Two numbers are equal. Yes. And here else if नहीं आएगा because only one condition check करना है. Yes, सिर्फ else आएगा. If दो number equal नहीं है तो क्या होगा? वो unequal होगा. Yes. So here will not have any else if between if and else. Yes. Cout. Numbers are not equal. That's it. Okay, first number, let's see 12. Numbers are not equal. If I give same number as input, 5, it's printing numbers are equal. Okay, now your task is to find the maximum among two numbers. You have to take input two numbers as input from user, and you have to compare two numbers. जो भी बड़ा number है, you will print that number. And we'll go for three numbers. We'll find the maximum among three numbers. Just a second. Right, and day. If else का syntax कैसा होगा? If condition. Body of if block. Body means group of statements. If condition true होगा, तो वो if का body execute करेगा. But if condition false होगा, तो वो else part में जाएगा. Done? मैक्सिमम अमॉन्ग टू नंबर्स के लिए कोड कर दिया तुम लोग ने? यस, तेजस डन. ओनली तेजस, प्रतीक. यस, ओके, डन. ओके. कैन एनीवन प्रेजेंट द स्क्रीन? Anyone?
So option नहीं available है.
Try now. Yes. Enter any three numbers. You are comparing three numbers. See, okay. Who is this? Viraj. See guys, Viraj is taking three numbers as input on the same line. Yes, he's using only one scene function. This is what I was telling. Yes, Viraj. What you are doing? Largest number. Okay. Three numbers. You are taking three more. You are comparing y. Max is use. हाँ, okay. X. देखो विराज ने क्या किया? X को maximum set किया. Then he is comparing y with max. Y with max. Yes. If y is greater than max. क्या कर रहे हो? I can't see your code properly, Viraj. Can you zoom in? Okay. क्या कर रहे हैं देखो विराज guys? Yes, he is storing x in max. Then he is comparing y with max. And simply he is doing comparison between y and x. Acha. And largest number. Okay. Give the input, Viraj. Yes. Give. Enter three numbers. 123. No, you have to write space between these three now. Okay, 123 is single number, Viraj. You have to enter. Press enter after every input. Run your code. Again. Yes, enter second number. Let's see. Okay, thank you, Viraj. Stop sharing your screen. I'll show you. Viraj was taking input on the same line. Yeah. I hope my screen is visible to all. Yes. Now I will take three numbers as input from user. Enter your first number, enter your second number. Let me take third number. Yes, and yes, N01, N02, N03. I am taking input from user in these three numbers. Yes. Now my task is to compare these three numbers. So मैं क्या करूंगा, पहले x को y के साथ कंपेयर करूंगा, पहले x को y के साथ कंपेयर करूंगा. यहाँ पे देखो लॉजिक क्या करना है, लॉजिक क्या यूज करना है हमें. यहाँ पे x y z, I have three numbers or n0 and number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever. Okay, if my x is greater than y, if my x is greater than y, then I will go to compare. If x बड़ा है तो I will compare again x with z. if दोनों कंडीशन ट्रू हो जाता है तो x is greatest maximum. if ये कंडीशन फॉल्स होता है, if ये कंडीशन फॉल्स होता है कि x is not greater than y, what does it mean? Y is greater than x. If x is not greater than y, so y is greater than x. So I'll compare y with z. If this condition is true, तो सबसे बड़ा क्या होगा, y, because यहाँ पे हमने चेक किया था x is greater than y. If this condition is false, means y is greater than x, and here we are checking y is greater than or z. If this condition is true, I will go here. Yes, यहाँ पे देखो कोड करते हैं. If x is greater than y, if x is greater than y, what I'll do, I'll check again. I'll compare x with z also. If x is greater than y, x is greater than z, so I'll print that yes, अरे हमने यहाँ पे n नंबर 1 नंबर 2 लिया है. ओके, तो हमें ऐसे लिखना पड़ेगा कोड में, नंबर 2 here. Yes, number 1 is greater than number 2, number 1 is greater than number 3, so number 1 is maximum, greatest or largest, whatever. अच्छा, if ये condition true होता है but ये condition false होता है, उसका मतलब क्या हुआ? If number 1 is greater than number 2 but not greater than number 3, उसका मतलब क्या हुआ guys? Number 3 is greatest. See here, if number 1 is greater than number 2, yes, but number 1 is not greater than number 3, ये condition false हो जाता है. उसका मतलब number 3 is greater than number 1 and number 1 is already greater than number 2. हमने चेक किया हुआ है, तो it will print number 3 as output. And इसके else part में, इसके else part में, what will I will write? Yes, can anyone tell me? If number 1, yes, if ये condition false होगा तो ही else में जाएगा. ये condition false हो, उसका मतलब क्या हुआ? Number 2 is greater than number 1. Now I'll compare number 2 with number 3. Yes. If number 1 is not greater than number 2, it means number 2 is greater than number 1. If number 2 is greater than number 3, so I will print number 2 as output. Number 2 because it is greater than 3 and it is greater than 1 also. ये condition false हुआ. Now if else part, उसका कभी आऊंगा else, ये वाले else में कभी आऊंगा if my number 1 is not greater than number 2, मतलब number 2 is greater than number 1 and number 2 is not greater than number 3. What does that mean? Number 3 is greatest. समझा क्या सबको? Number 1 और XYZ लेते हैं. If X is greater than Y, तो इसके अंदर आऊंगा. If X is not greater than Y, what does it mean? Y is greater than X. Yes. If Y is greater than X, we know that Y is greater than X. Now I'm comparing Y with Z. If this condition is false, मतलब if Y is not greater than Z, तो Z is largest. Yes. Let's try to run this code. Enter your first number. Let me give it 12. 22. 55 is greatest number. Logic समझा? क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग? Yes.
Yes.
Here we are using if else, but इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Nested if else. If else के अंदर if else, उसको बोलते हैं nested if else. There is a shortcut to do this. So कोई कॉपी कर रहा है कोड? Can we switch to next topic? I hope if else का यूज तुमको समझ गया. प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो आएगा. Yes, प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा. Okay, if else largest among 3 numbers. This is a program to find the largest among 3 numbers using nested if else. अच्छा, switch case पता है आपको? What is switch case? ओके, स्विच केस डिस्कस करते हैं. तो इफ सी यहाँ पे मुझे मल्टीपल कंडीशंस होगा तो मेरा इफ एल्स काम नहीं आएगा. नंबर ऑफ कंडीशंस आर एग्जीक्यूटेड. यस, ओके, लिटिल क्लोज. यहाँ पे देखो, इफ मुझे बहुत सारे कंडीशन चेक करना है, इफ मुझे लेट्स से 10 कंडीशन चेक करना है, तो इफ आई विल यूज इफ एल्स तो मुझे मल्टीपल टाइम्स इफ एल्स लिखना पड़ेगा. यस, मल्टीपल टाइम्स इफ एल्स लिखना पड़ेगा. इफ एल्सिफ 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 ऐसे बहुत सारा कोड लिखना पड़ेगा. ह्यूज कोड, सिंटैक्स. ओके, इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट आई विल यूज स्विच. सिंटैक्स समझ लो पहले. यस, यहां पे आगे आएगा एक्सप्रेशन. जो भी है, जो भी हम लोग पास करेंगे, सिंपली वी आर पासिंग द वैल्यू इनसाइड स्विच. ओके, लेट्स से आई वांट टू क्रिएट अ कैलकुलेटर. हम लोग कैलकुलेटर बना देते हैं स्विच यूजिंग स्विच, तो समझ जाए, सबको समझ जाएगा. वी विल बिल्ड अ कैलकुलेटर. तो व्हाट आई एम डूइंग हियर इज आई एम टेकिंग कैलकुलेटर में क्या होता है, हम लोग 2 नंबर डालते हैं, क्या करना है, प्लस माइनस सब्ट्रैक्शन मल्टीप्लिकेशन, जो भी करना है वो लिखते हैं, राइट. ओके, तो here I am taking 2 numbers as input from user. Now I will ask user कि भाई तुम्हें करना क्या है 2 नंबर से, तुम्हें एडिशन करना है, मल्टीप्लिकेशन करना है, डिवीजन करना है, क्या करना है. ओके, तो I will use cout function to ask my user what they have to do. एडिशन हम लोग बोलेंगे एंटर योर चॉइस, एंटर योर चॉइस, चॉइस जो भी उसका जो भी करना है चॉइस लेंगे. See, here I can use slash n because I want to print this thing on new line. Okay. Now, second. Second option. अच्छा वो वन एंटर करेगा तो I have to do addition. If वो 2 एंटर करता है subtraction. 3 or let's say multiplication n slash n 4 or let's say division. This is C out. अभी यूजर से इनपुट भी लेना पड़ेगा, उसका चॉइस क्या है, उसे करना क्या है. तो I will declare one more variable int choice. Yes. यहाँ पे क्या बोला मैंने यूजर को, एंटर योर चॉइस, एंटर 1 फॉर एडिशन, 2 फॉर सब्ट्रैक्शन, 3 फॉर मल्टीप्लिकेशन एंड 4 फॉर डिवीजन. ये अभी सब चीज न्यू लाइन पे प्रिंट होगा बिकॉज आई एम यूजिंग स्लैश एन बिटवीन देम. नाउ आई एम टेकिंग यूजर का चॉइस इन दिस वेरिएबल चॉइस. ओके. नाउ आई एम पासिंग दिस चॉइस वेरिएबल इन स्विच. Now we'll write different cases. Case 1, if user ने 1 enter किया, we have to do addition. Yes. So case, then expression. Case 1, if 1 input होगा तो क्या case होगा? If user enters 1, तो I have to print sum of 2 numbers. Addition प्रिंट करूंगा. Yes. And 2 numbers, what are 2 numbers? Number 1 and number 2. Okay. So number 2. And after every case, there will be a break statement. Break keyword. It will break the loop. Case 2. Now I'm just copying these things. Now case 2, if user ने 2 enter किया तो I have to do subtraction. Subtraction of 2 numbers. Break statement. If user ने 3 input दिया है तो I have to do multiplication. That should be a colon. Yeah. यहाँ पे हम लोग कॉलन लिख रहे हैं, इट्स नॉट सेमी कॉलन, इट्स कंपल्सरी. सी आउट डिवीजन. Yes, number 1 divided by number 2. And लास्ट में एक डिफॉल्ट होता है. डिफॉल्ट क्यों यूज करते हैं? इफ कोई भी केस सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो रहा है, मतलब यूजर ने 1 2 3 4 के बजाय कोई दूसरा नंबर डाल दिया, इफ नन ऑफ द केस गॉट एग्जीक्यूटेड, तो वो एट द एंड डिफॉल्ट एग्जीक्यूट करेगा. डिफॉल्ट में okay, let's print yes, wrong input given by the user. Yes, because हमने 4 ही ऑप्शन दिए थे यूजर को, enter your choice, addition, multiplication. Yes, 4. Let's execute this code, run this code. Okay. Okay, यहाँ पे देखो, first number let's say whatever 40, second number 7. Yes, he's asking to enter my choice. Let's say I want to do subtraction. Yes, it is taking. Yes, 7, 14 minus 7. It's 7, printing, subtraction. यहाँ पे slash है. Recommend. Yeah. Let's take it this here. No, it's looking fine. Take a choice. Let's say I want to do multiplication. 14 into 7. Getting? Next. Again. Let's try to run again. Just gonna bola. If see, we are just giving 4 options to the user to enter his choice. क्या करना है? Addition करना है. 1 for addition, 2 for subtraction, 3 for multiplication, 4 for division. If user ने this out of this 4 numbers कुछ दूसरा नंबर कोई भी बदलता, suppose 89 डाल रहा है, so it will execute default. That is wrong input. If none of the case gets satisfied, it will print default. It will execute default statement. So this is switch case in C++. Yes, यहाँ पे हम instead of writing multiple if else if statements, I am writing just if switch case. Okay. Syntax कैसा होगा? Switch. Yes. यहाँ पे एक्सप्रेशन जो भी पास करेंगे, then case 1, body of case 1 जो भी काम करना है, if first case satisfy हो रहा है तो जो भी काम करना है, then don't forget to write break keyword here. Otherwise it will execute all the cases. It will check for all the cases. If first case satisfy हो जाता है, means if मेरा first case, if user ने 1 input दिया है तो मेरा first case satisfy हो जाता है, तो I'm not going to check for these all these cases, right? If मेरा user ने 1 input दिया है, so I'll just do this and come out of this switch case. I'm not going to execute this all things. I'm not going to check for these things. तो इसलिए हम लोग break use करते हैं to come out of this switch case. Okay, and we are not writing break in default because already वो execute होगा. If none of the get, okay, default भी execute नहीं होगा break के बाद. Okay, if कोई case satisfy होता है, तो only that case का body will be executed. If none of the case get satisfied, तो ही default execute होगा. Understood switch case, everyone?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Can you write a code using switch case to print day of the week? You will take number as an input from user, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. How many days are there in week? There are 7 days. They will take 1 to 7 में कोई भी input लो, and accordingly you will print day for that number. If user is entering 1, you will print Monday. If user is entering 2, you will print Tuesday. Can you write the code for this? Yes, you will take input from user, a number, and you will print day of the week for that number. Let me know if you're done. Okay, let's go for next topic. Clear करूँ सब? Done?
Yeah.
I'm going to study ternary operator. जिसका नहीं हुआ स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो, so that we can switch to next topic. So now we are going to study ternary operator. किसको पता है ternary operator क्या होता है? Okay, it's also a conditional statement. It is used to make decisions. Decision making में use होता है. Same to if else things. Okay, हम लोग largest among 3 numbers find कर रहे थे, right? We can do that using ternary operator. Ternary operator में basic syntax क्या है? I will check the condition here. Show you here first. Yes. See, basic syntax is here. First, you will write a condition. Yes, if में लिखते थे जो condition, वैसे same. You will write a condition. Then there's a question mark. If the condition is true, you will execute this body. And if condition is false, you will execute this body. And at the end, जो हम semicolon हर एक statement के end में लिखते हैं. Okay. If condition is false, you will execute this part. If condition is true, you will execute this part. Okay. एक example लेंगे तो समझ जाएगा. Let's say first I want to find the largest among two numbers. So what I will going to write is okay. Let me store it in some other variable. Let's say okay. Number. I'm comparing number 1 and number 2. If number 1, क्या लिख रहा हूं मैं? Number 1 is greater than number 2. ये किया था. This is condition. Condition लिखा मैंने. Then question mark. If number 1 is greater than number 2, question mark. If this condition is true, I will print. Yes, I will print. Sorry. Or let's say number 1. ऐसे print. Or if this condition is false, means number 2 is greater, so I will write cout number 2. That's it. Let's try to run this code. What happened? Okay, return 0 कहाँ गया? Switch please. Okay. Getting the output. Yes, largest among two numbers. Okay, so if condition true होता है, तो first part execute करता है, and if condition false होता है, तो it will execute second part of instructions. This is column. Okay, true part and false part is separated by column. पहले true part आएगा, then second is false part. Yes, if condition is true, go here. If condition is false, go here. Basic syntax समझा सबको? Ternary operator का. Take screenshot of this screen if you want. Okay. Now if I want to check largest among three numbers, तो कैसे लिखूंगा? हमने last time जो लॉजिक यूज किया था वही करने वाला है. अच्छा, for simplicity let me declare it as x and y instead of number 1 and number 2. Okay. Let me for simplicity write this as x and y. So आप लोग confuse नहीं होंगे. Z. Okay, x, y, z. This is x. This is y. And third variable input होगा. This is z. Okay, I'm taking three numbers as input from user, and now I'm checking the condition. If x is greater than y, if x is greater than y, ट्रू पार्ट में आऊंगा, पहले मैं जो ट्रू पार्ट करना है, तो इफ ये ट्रू है कि इफ x बड़ा है ग्रेटर देन x इज ग्रेटर देन y, x बड़ा है, तो आई विल कंपेयर x with z also, and if this condition is true, I will print yes x. सी पहले क्या किया मैंने, चेक किया x इज ग्रेटर देन y, इफ ये ट्रू होगा तो इसके ट्रू पार्ट में आएगा। अभी तक मैंने कॉलन नहीं लिखा है, यस अभी तक मैंने कॉलन नहीं लिखा है, ये हटा दो, ओके अभी तक मैंने कॉलन नहीं लिखा है, तो ये ट्रू पार्ट हो गया, ये कंडीशन के लिए ट्रू पार्ट हो गया, यस इफ कंडीशन ट्रू होता है तो ये ट्रू पार्ट में आता है, कॉलन के पहले वाला पार्ट, ओके तो इफ दिस कंडीशन इज ट्रू आई विल कम हियर एंड चेक अगेन मैं टर्नरी ऑपरेटर यूज कर रहा हूं, x इज ग्रेटर देन z, इफ दोनों कंडीशन ट्रू होता है तो आई विल प्रिंट x. Now I'm using colon. This colon is for this ternary operator. Yes, ये कंडीशन के लिए ये कॉलन है। अच्छा पहला कंडीशन तो ट्रू ही अभी भी, x is greater than y, but if x is not greater than z, उसका मतलब क्या हो, z is greater than x and x is already greater than y, देखा है हमने, तो I'll print yes, I'll print z. ये ट्रू पार्ट हो गया, इसका ट्रू पार्ट, ये वाला टर्नरी ऑपरेटर का ट्रू पार्ट हो गया। नाउ बाहर वाले टर्नरी ऑपरेटर का फॉल्स पार्ट करेंगे, तो इफ ये कंडीशन फॉल्स होता है उसका मतलब क्या हुआ, y इज ग्रेटर देन x, इफ y इज ग्रेटर देन x आई विल चेक, आई विल कम, जैसे यहाँ पे x ग्रेटर था तो मैंने x को z के साथ कंपेयर किया, अभी यहाँ पे क्या पता चल रहा है, इफ कंडीशन इज फॉल्स उसका मतलब क्या हो, y इज ग्रेटर देन x, तो इसके फॉल्स पार्ट में आ जाऊंगा एंड आई विल कंपेयर y विद z, इफ y इज ग्रेटर देन z आल्सो, तो ये मेरा अगेन टर्नरी ऑपरेटर एंड यहाँ पे प्रिंट सी आउट, दैट इज यस y, एंड इसका फॉल्स पार्ट, अभी फॉल्स पार्ट मतलब क्या हुआ, यहाँ से तो ये बाहर वाले टर्नरी ऑपरेटर का फॉल्स पार्ट है, y इज ग्रेटर देन x, ये तो है ही है, ये तो ऑलरेडी हमने देख लिया, अभी अंदर आ गए, y इज ग्रेटर देन x बट y इज नॉट ग्रेटर देन z, उसका मतलब क्या हुआ, z बड़ा है, कंडीशन फॉल्स हुआ तो आई विल प्रिंट z. दिस इज इट, ओके ये कंडीशन है, इसका ट्रू पार्ट ये है एंड ये कंडीशन का फॉल्स पार्ट ये है, ये कंडीशन का ट्रू पार्ट ये है एंड फॉल्स पार्ट ये। नाउ वी विल ट्राई टू प्रिंट, let me give you 3 numbers, 56, printing 56, yes yes यहाँ पे देखो अभी हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे हमारा एक कंडीशन है, फर्स्ट कंडीशन, उसका ट्रू पार्ट ये है, इफ कंडीशन ट्रू हुआ तो आई विल एग्जीक्यूट दिस ग्रुप ऑफ स्टेटमेंट्स, इफ कंडीशन फॉल्स हुआ तो आई विल एग्जीक्यूट दिस ग्रुप ऑफ स्टेटमेंट्स। एंड में सेमीकोलन। नाउ इन दिस ग्रुप ऑफ इफ x इज ग्रेटर देन y, मैंने कंपेयर किया था, तो इफ x इज ग्रेटर देन y ये कंडीशन ट्रू होता है तो मैं ट्रू पार्ट में जंप करूंगा, यस एंड नाउ आई विल चेक फॉर x इज ग्रेटर देन z, ये ट्रू हुआ तभी अंदर आया मैं, उसका मतलब क्या x इज ग्रेटर देन y, एंड इफ दिस कंडीशन इज ट्रू मतलब क्या हुआ x इज ग्रेटर देन z, तो x सबसे बड़ा है। और अब ये कंडीशन का फॉल्स पार्ट भी देखना पड़ेगा, सेपरेटेड बाय कॉलन। ये ट्रू पार्ट हो गया ये कंडीशन का। अब ये कंडीशन का फॉल्स पार्ट क्या होगा, x इज ग्रेटर देन y बट x इज नॉट ग्रेटर देन z, उसका मतलब z इज ग्रेटेस्ट। यस, भी फॉल्स पार्ट में आते हैं। अभी ये कंडीशन फॉल्स कभी होगा, जब y इज ग्रेटर देन x। तो हियर आई विल कंपेयर, y again with z। यहाँ पे ये कंडीशन फॉल्स कब होगा, इफ y इज ग्रेटर देन x, एंड यहाँ पे मैं वापस अंदर आके चेक करूंगा, इफ y इज ग्रेटर देन x एंड y इज ग्रेटर देन z, तो y इज ग्रेटेस्ट। इफ y इज ग्रेटर देन x बट y इज नॉट ग्रेटर देन z, तो z इज ग्रेटेस्ट।
Yes, sir.
अंडरस्टूड टर्नरी ऑपरेटर? सबको समझा?
Yes.
Now let's start with loops. अच्छा, loops क्या क्या पता है आपको?
For loop, do while.
For loop का बेसिक सिंटेक्स क्या होता है? Yes, first part in for loop is for initialization, second part is for condition, and third part, yes, for loop ऐसे लिखते हो ना? First of all, loops क्यों यूज करते हैं? To perform iterative task. Yes, if I ask you to print numbers from 1 to 10, instead of writing 10 cout function, you use loop to reduce your task, coding task. Okay, to do iterative things, same task multiple time perform करना है, तो we use loops. Okay, तो one of them is for loop. For loop का basic syntax क्या है? First part is initialization. Yes, separated by semicolon. Second part is condition, separated by colon, sorry, semicolon, and third part is update counter. This is update counter, or let's say updation. So this is basic syntax for for loop. This is the body of for loop. Body means group of statement. Okay, जो भी iterative task perform करना है repeatedly, group of statement to perform that iterative task. If you want to take screenshot of this screen, take it. This is first part is initialization, second part is condition, third part is update counter. अभी काम कैसे करता है for loop वो देखेंगे, execute कैसे होता है। तो जब ये for loop के अंदर आता है execution pointer, first it will initialize a variable, और ये एक ही बार execute होता है। First time जब आता है execution पे एक ही बार execute होता है initialization. Then it will check condition and it will go inside the for loop, execute body statement, जो भी statement लिखा होगा, जो भी cout, scene, जो भी लिखा होगा वो execute करेगा. It will go to update counter, then it will check the condition, come in, come out, it will update the count, update counter में आएगा. Then after updating it will again go to condition, again body, again update counter. जब तक कि condition true होगा it will do this. जब ये condition false हो जाएगा it will come out of for loop. इतना समझा कैसे execute हो रहा है for loop?
Yes.
Okay, if you want to take screenshot you can. Okay, now here let's take one basic example, then we'll go for complex examples. Let's take, अच्छा for loop ही करना है, directly करते हैं. मैंने बोला फर्स्ट पार्ट इज इनिशियलाइजेशन.
Yes.
So there I initialize a variable. Let's say int I equal to 0. I hope you know the difference between declaration, initialization, and what assignment. Yes, this is
Yes.
here. I am initializing a variable. Okay. Now next, I need to check conditions since my if my task is to print hello world 10 times. Okay. Let me start index with 1 for easiness. Okay. Condition क्या लिखूंगा? Using
I less
relational
than
operator.
equal to 10.
Yes, I less than equal to 10. Then
I plus plus.
I plus plus सबको पता है I plus plus क्या होता है?
Post
Yes.
space increment.
Post increment. Yes, pre increment, decrement सबको पता है ये चीज. Yes, I plus plus का meaning होता है. If I'm writing I plus plus. Oh sorry. I plus plus. What does that mean? It means I equal to I plus 1. This is it. Okay. Now I will write cout hello. Yes, it will print. Okay, we have to use /n or and l to get every hello world text on new line. Yes, it is printing hello world 10 times. Yes. So this is a basic working of for loop. Let's try to print this numbers from n to 1. You will take n input n as an input from user, and you will print numbers from n to 1. Okay. So for that, let me write a code. I will take input from user, enter a number. Simple. Cin. अच्छा, एक नंबर लेने के लिए एक वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करना पड़ेगा. टू स्टोर दैट इनपुट, यूजर का इनपुट स्टोर करने के लिए कुछ वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करना पड़ेगा. लेट्स से नंबर, नेम दिया वेरिएबल को, एंड आई एम टेकिंग इनपुट फ्रॉम यूजर. And now my task is to print this number from number to जो भी यूजर ने, सपोज यूजर ने 50 दिया है तो 50 to 1 न्यू लाइन पे प्रिंट करना है. तो आई विल इनिशियलाइज माय I to number. ओके, तो इनिशियल वैल्यू स्टोर्ड इन I विल बी जो भी यूजर इनपुट देगा 50 20 जो भी. देन इट शुड गो फ्रॉम नंबर टू, क्या लिखूंगा यहाँ पे कंडीशन, व्हाट आवर टास्क इज टू प्रिंट नंबर फ्रॉम जो भी इनपुट दिया
I greater than
up to
equal to 1.
yes, greater than equal to 1. then इंक्रीमेंट करूंगा कि डिक्रीमेंट करूंगा? डिक्रीमेंट. yes. so now my task is to print I. yes. see, it will take input from user, let's say 5 there. Yes, it is printing 5 4 3 2 1. This is a basic working of for loop. Everyone is understanding? Okay. Understood? Suppose I want to print that table, मतलब यूजर से इनपुट लेना है, तो जो भी इनपुट देगा वो नंबर का मुझे टेबल प्रिंट करना है. Can anyone write a code and present to me? Present screen. Write a code to take input a number from user and print the table for the same. Suppose user enter करता है 8, you will print 8 का table. what I'll do, अच्छा मुझे नंबर इनपुट लेना है यूजर के पास से and I have to print the table for that number. Okay, so I'll start from 1 only. Table, yes, 8 1 से लेके 8 10 तक होता है, तो I should go from 1 to 10. Yes, 10 बार एग्जीक्यूट होना चाहिए, 10 बार प्रिंट करना है. Instead of writing post decrement, I will write post increment. Now I'll print. What I'll print? यहाँ पे टेबल प्रिंट करना है. Suppose यूजर ने नंबर इनपुट दिया है, whatever, or it can be anything. Let's say number. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, यहाँ पे I again equal to यहाँ पे number multiplied by I. Okay, this is the format of how we print table. Number into 1 I 2 3 whatever equal to number into, okay, this is I. What happened? Yeah, this is, there shouldn't space between equal to and less than or greater to in relational operators. Okay, let's say मैं 6 का table print करना है. Yes, it's printing the table for 6. I hope सबको समझा how to use loops. Yes, basic syntax for loop. You might have studied while loop. This is for loop. Now we'll go for while loop. Same task मुझे perform करना है using while loop. तो while loop का syntax क्या है? Yeah, I have yes, this is while loop. यहाँ पे कंडीशन आएगा. इनिशियलाइजेशन हम लोग while loop के बाहर करते हैं, जो for loop में पहले करते थे वही चीज हम लोग in while loop इनिशियलाइजेशन बाहर करते हैं. Yes, then condition and update counter हम लोग लास्ट में करते हैं. अपडेट काउंटर बॉडी के अंदर करते हैं, कहीं पे भी, मतलब डिपेंड्स ऑन कंडीशन क्या करना है. ओके, तो अपडेट काउंटर विल बी इनसाइड माय बॉडी ऑफ व्हाइल लूप, कंडीशन इज हियर एंड इनिशियलाइजेशन बाहर होगा व्हाइल लूप के पहले. So this is syntax for while loop. Now we'll see the same thing using while loop. So while is keyword for while loop. मुझे initialize भी करना है. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, all of you done with this? इसको लिखना है, स्क्रीनशॉट लेना है. Yes, no? Done? Okay. while loop में क्या कैसे करेंगे? इनिशियलाइज करना पड़ेगा, आई को बाहर इनिशियलाइज करेंगे. Yes, we initialize it here only, or let's say यहाँ पे करता है बाहर. I equal to 1 and here. Let's say condition क्या होगा? I should be less than equal to 10. टेबल ही प्रिंट करते हैं हम लोग वापस से. नाउ सी आउट जो भी पहले कर रहे थे सी आउट के अंदर, यस नंबर, पहले तो नंबर होगा, देन मल्टीप्लिकेशन, देन I equal to, then number, whatever number is that, into I. Yes. So this is how we're going to print. Let's try this. Enter number. It's taking. Okay, we didn't write update counter for that. That's why it's going in infinite loop. You have to write update counter at the end of while loop inside a body, but inside body likhna, okay? It is I plus plus. Now it will work fine. Yes, it's not printing on new line. To print on new line, we will use handle. It's working fine. Okay, mistake क्या किया था? Update counter भूल गए थे. It should be inside the while loop. And मैं starting में कहीं पे भी लिख सकता हूँ. Okay.
मेरा तो आया ही नहीं आज.
Understood? Yes,
Yes.
basic for
Yes.
while loop, for loop. In do while loop का syntax कैसा होता है? Okay, do while loop का syntax कैसा होगा? You will like do and here while. We are writing condition here. यहाँ पे condition आएगा. Initialization will be here. Outside, inside का यहाँ पे ही करना है. This is initialization. Whatever. Yes. Initialization. Do while के syntax के बाहर करना initialization and update counter same as while loop inside the body. This is here update counter. ठीक है, यहाँ पे डिफरेंस क्या है while and do while में? In do while my body of body, this is body, okay, body will be executed at least once, at least एक बार execute होगा. फर्स्ट टाइम एग्जीक्यूट होने के बाद वो कंडीशन चेक करेगा. बस this is the difference between while and do while. Okay, so yes, we'll stop the lecture. Today we saw conditional statements,